What's going on, everyone? We got to talk about Cam Reddish. He was ridiculous yesterday in the Lakers' first road win of the season against the Phoenix Suns. There were several implications in this win. Not only did they get their first road win, not only are they 2-0 against the Phoenix Suns, but they're also 1-0 in the play-in tournament, so that's good. And the rest of their play-in tournament games are rather easy, and they should win. Granted, with this Lakers team, a lot of question marks. This wasn't the most beautiful win, but I'll take the wins where we can get them. If the Lakers play like they did in the fourth quarter for an entire game, you're not beating this team. This team's going to win a lot of games. Problem is, they haven't been able to put it together for an entire game. It's just like, hey, we're really good in the fourth quarter. We lock down, turn it on when we're not down by 30, right? But Cam Reddish was a huge catalyst in this win. I mean, from literally the opening tip, he started off with the steal. Cam Reddish gave you 17 points, 3 rebounds, 5 of 10 from the field, and 5 of 8 from 3, which was massive. Also had 3 steals and 0 turnovers and was a +7 on the night. Closed down the stretch. Was just excellent defensively, even on Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant did Kevin Durant things and hit some just ridiculous shots, but it wasn't because of poor defense on him when Reddish was on him, right? Now, look, the Lakers' defense was pretty bad for a good portion of that game, but Reddish was doing his job. Reddish was getting after it and just working hard on both sides of the basketball. Defensively, Reddish has been great all season and has really had to kind of fill in for Jared Vanderbilt, and I think has done about as good of a job as you possibly can. Because, I mean, Jared Vanderbilt is arguably the best on-ball defender in the entire league. And Reddish, to kind of have to step in and play that role with Jared Vanderbilt out, there's very few guys that can have that level of impact. And he's done an excellent job in that. And so much so, I mean, look, now that they've moved Austin Reeves to the bench and have talked about him in that like Manu role, which is something that I think should have happened, and I hope stays that way, because Austin Reeves, I believe, whether he's coming off the bench or he's starting, can give you the same impact, right? And you're still going to very likely close with Reeves, as we saw in that Phoenix Suns game. So all the starting of Reeves is just for, the namesake of just bragging rights. Oh, I'm a starter, right? Who cares about that? Let's win games. And I just think Reeves balances out the bench so much better. And he gives you a guy that, if he continues to perform like he did last night, then now you have at least a 15-point-a-game guy coming off the bench, along with Rui Hachimura, Jackson Hayes, Christian Wood, and then Taurean Prince or whomever goes to the bench. But so the Lakers ran the starting 5 that I have preached that they should run for a while now. The only difference is that Cam Reddish is starting over Jared Vanderbilt, and once Vando comes back, my guess is that Reddish goes to the bench. Vando comes in, and then they go with a D'Lo, Prince, LeBron, AD, and Vando starting unit. But if Cam Reddish can not necessarily shoot the way that he shot this game, I don't expect him to give you 17 a night and shoot 5 of 8 from 3, but if he can be serviceable enough, because that's been the problem, his offense is inconsistent, right? You're definitely starting Vando just because his defense is just far too impactful. So Vando's definitely getting a starting role over somebody. And I do like the idea of Prince. It gives you shooting, 40% three-point shooting, although he was bad 0 of 4 tonight. But he has been around 40% on the season. And then on top of that, it just gives you more size, still gives you some defense, veteran move. I mean, you can make an argument Taurean Prince made the play of the game. I mean, seriously. I mean, anybody else on this roster probably shoots that 3 in the corner, and instead he, just holds it. The defense makes a mistake. He capitalizes on the mistake, drives to the basket, and it was game over, right? So, again, anybody else Reddish would have shot that, Reeves, Rui, Wood, you name it. When they had that open 3, probably would have shot it. So I really love the idea of Prince and his veteran just presence. But again, maybe you can close with Prince. start Vando, and then go with Cam Reddish at the 2, right? I actually really love that idea. Imagine a starting 5 of D'Angelo Russell, Cam Reddish, Jared Vanderbilt, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis. I mean, defensively, good luck. Because now you have Cam Reddish. Your smallest guy would be D'Lo at 6'5", who he's been serviceable defensively. He hasn't been like elite by any stretch, but he's been good enough and serviceable enough. And then everyone else is like 6'8" and above, right? I mean, you have constant switchability. You have great length, versatility, rebounding wise with Cam Reddish, as well as Jared Vanderbilt and their energy and hustle out on the perimeter and hopefully crashing the boards, I think would be massive. Like, the one concern would be the Lakers' three-point shooting, right? Which the Lakers have been atrocious from shooting the three. Although they finally woke up today, and hopefully that's a good sign. Hopefully that's the beginning. They started off bad, but then they had that stretch in the fourth quarter where guys just started hitting shots. And they ended up finishing the game 44% from three, which would be huge if that, not necessarily 44%, but they could kind of get even to like middle of the pack. Because the Lakers have good three-point shooters. But the question would be to me, can Cam Reddish shoot around 35, 36%? And then can Jared Vanderbilt do the same? Now, that's not, a Taurean Prince at 40% or a Reeves at 40%. Again, Reeves isn't shooting 40% currently, but if he gets back to where he was last season, then he was 40%, right? So you're not getting the 40% shooter. But to me, if we can be far and away the number one defense in the league, and Reddish and Vando can at least be good enough shooting the three ball to where you have to respect it, then I would rather go with that, right? I would rather go with just lockdown elite defense than good defense and good three-point shooting. Just because I think you're going to completely be able to shut teams down, and you're already one of the best teams in the league at just scoring the basketball in the interior, right? So, and that also gives you athleticism. If Cam Reddish can remember how to dribble the basketball, he can apply rim pressure, right? Like, it adds a lot to the Lakers. You can run more actions with like Reddish and Vanderbilt because they're just such good athletes. You can run actions to where they can, make cuts and run some pick and rolls with them and just kind of put them in a position to where they can kind of use their athleticism. I like that idea. I think at worst, it's something worth exploring and experimenting with, right? Like, I'm not saying that like they have to do it, but I would love to see what that looks like. Maybe if you don't start it, like, I would love to see that maybe come out of the half, right? Like, if you want to start Prince, right, and go, okay, well, Prince, when he's on, dude's lights out, and that veteran presence. But to me, it's just kind of like you could go with Prince to close, right? So basically you swap Reddish with Prince, and then you swap D'Lo with Reeves, and then you got, Reeves, Prince, Vando, LeBron, and AD as your closing unit. And then your starting unit is, as I mentioned, right? That I think would be good, and I think could really have an impact on this Lakers roster. Look, if you're not number one defensively with Anthony Davis, Cam Reddish, and Jared Vanderbilt, then I don't know what to tell you. Like, they should be. I mean, Jared Vanderbilt alone last year, like, the Lakers are like 19th, I believe, in defense, and 18th or 19th? I believe it's 19th. So they're like 19th in defense, which is like basically where they were pre-trade last season. And then you get Jared Vanderbilt and you immediately jump to number one, right? Like, Lakers were like middle of the pack defensively and then jump to number one, right? Right now, Lakers are like middle of the pack defensively. Jared Vanderbilt comes back, you're probably jumping to number one, if not at least top 5 or add in Cam Reddish and his defense. I just think the Lakers would be just complete clams. I think that they'd just be completely locked down. Again, the one concern would just be three-point shooting, but I think the Lakers, if everybody kind of gets back on 3-point wise, I think the Lakers are just middle of the pack anyway, right? And I talked about that before. Like maybe they could get top 10, but it comes down to me of how well does LeBron shoot the three ball. If LeBron can get up to like 36%, then I think Lakers could maybe squeeze into like the top 10 to 12 and 3-point percentage. Again, assuming Reeves gets back to being Reeves, D'Lo continues to kind of shine. And I mean, even though yesterday he failed to knock down the three, he still has shot the ball. It's just the lack of consistency, but I did like his aggression. I just, if everyone can kind of get to where they should be, Prince 40%, Reeves 40%, D'Lo 40%, and then everyone else just kind of just at least middle of the pack, then I think the Lakers will be middle of the pack. So again, it's kind of like, do you sacrifice some early 3-point shooting for just smothering defense and to get out in transition and extend the lead? Like, I would rather that, especially with just the slow starts that the Lakers have had, right? If our offense was clicking early on and we just weren't able to get stops or something, then maybe, but like our offense has been bad and we're not able to get stops, right? So it's like, if your offense takes a little while to get in the rhythm, okay, well then you might as well just lean in heavily defensively, lock down the opposing team long enough to where your offense can kind of find its rhythm and its flow, and now you're off to the races and you're going to win more games than otherwise. Just kind of a thought. But I absolutely love what we saw from Cam Reddish this game. He absolutely gets the game ball, the unsung hero. And I love that he didn't lose confidence after missing that game winner against Miami. A lot of guys just get really down on themselves. And that's credit to the Lakers as a whole, right? You heard everybody kind of come to his defense. Darvin Ham, LeBron James, Austin Reeves, all basically were like, hey, like, you take that shot. You did good. Even LeBron after this game talked about, like, hey, I did the right thing. Anybody that, I'm paraphrasing, but basically anybody that doesn't understand basketball, yada, yada. So, anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think of Cam Reddish's performance? Do you think if he continues this level of play, because to me, that's what it comes down to, is I need his consistency. Again, I'm not saying he's consistently going to give you 17, but can he consistently give you like 8 to 10, right? Because of that defense, when Vando comes, like, I think you could make an argument for him in the starting unit. But my guess is he's still young, and that's been a big thing with him, is the consistency. I think he's going to still struggle with that and probably be relegated to the bench. That doesn't mean he won't play. I'm just saying I don't think he'll start. But again, I have your thoughts. I'd love to hear it. Let me know down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Lets me know you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Guys, beautiful. I will see you all in the next one. Thank you.